There's something important that you need to hear about manifestation, and it's brutal. It's brutal and it can be very hard to digest, but nevertheless, this is a very important thing to keep in mind because it's going to be what makes you shift. This video is going to be particularly helpful for those of you who are dealing with a hard situation in the 3D that you can't stop thinking about. And it can be anything from an actual big problem to someone said something 2 weeks ago and you can't stop thinking about it. And we are going to talk about the essence of manifestation so that you can make the shift and finally manifest what you actually desire. If you want a more personalized experience, you can book coaching with me from the link in the description box below. And also check out my full day manifestation routine course, which is also in the description box below. So, what is it about manifestation that is so brutal that I'm talking about? Often I see people and I also hear people be so focused in the 3D and be in this mindset of, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Also, a lot of times I've done the work so much, nothing is working. But this is so horrible. That person did this person did that, the situation is this, why do bad things happen to good people, etc. By the way, I'm going to link my video about karma in the description. That is going to be a good follow-up for this video. So you are dealing with a law that is universal and non-personal. Both Neville Goddard and Joseph Murphy say this over and over again in their books, but they say it in such a nice, elegant way. I am not going to do that. What I'm going to say is that you're dealing with a law that doesn't care about what you've been through, about what you're going through, about what you think should have happened already, what you feel, anything. You are dealing with a law, quote Joseph Murphy, that is no respecter of persons. The law doesn't care about anything. So you either make the shift, or you're just going to receive more of it, more of what you are focusing on. And this is horrible. I know it's hard because you want your manifestation. And a lot of times it can feel like you're not going to get it, but you are. You are going to get your manifestation. What you need to do is to actually do the work. Because people who say, I've done the work, nothing has happened, you're dealing with a law that is like gravity. You fall down, you're going to hit the ground. There's no more to it. Well, there's a lot to it, but for the sake of this comparison, your own subconscious mind is working different than your conscious mind. The mind is in two parts, conscious, subconscious. Subconscious is what manifests things in the physical. The conscious is the analytical mind. It's the logical mind, etc. Your subconscious mind, which is manifesting stuff for you, it doesn't care. It doesn't care how hard it is for you. It doesn't care how much stuff you have done. It doesn't care what you've been through. It just doesn't care. It's going to continuously manifest what you focus on. So that is what you need to be working with. When your mind is fully in your 3D, you're telling your subconscious mind, more of this, please. More of this, please. This is horrible. I hate it. This is wrong. I feel bad. all that it's doing with focus on that is telling your subconscious mind, more of this, please, more of this, please. And your subconscious mind doesn't care. It doesn't care. It's going to continuously manifest more and more. And this is why when you are having a problem that you keep focusing on, it gets worse. It gets bigger, it gets bigger, it gets bigger. The worse it gets, the worse it gets. On the other hand, though, when you actually make the changes in your mind, the necessary changes in your mind, and you start creating different scenarios and stories in your mind, it starts getting better, and you keep focusing on it. The same way, the better it gets, the better it gets. So for your creative mind, the subjective, subconscious mind, there's no, this is horrible for you, this is good for you. It's a situation and a situation. What are you focusing on? So it is continuously going to give you the same thing that you're focusing on. So whether you're tired of your 3D circumstance, whether you're tired of doing the work, if you're doing something that isn't working for you, then maybe dig into it. Maybe figure out what you're doing that isn't working. Because the law is working. There are people in my comments saying, oh, I couldn't manifest my this, my that, so maybe it's not working always. It's working always. And whenever we're not getting what we want, we are applying the law in a way that we're not getting. So if you are still in the mindset of this didn't work, or I don't know, the person is stubborn, or I can't make money with this job, guess what? All your subconscious mind is saying is, okay, then more of that. And there's another thing that is super important here. This is not to say to suppress your negative emotions, to ignore the problem. This is another thing that people have a really hard time to deal with. Suppressing your negative emotions is not going to make the problem go away, because your subconscious mind is in you. It feels, it sees, it hears everything that is going on inside of you. So you can't fool it by ignoring a problem. What happens is that when you suppress and ignore stuff, it's like when you pretend that you're happy, you act as if you're super happy, but you're just not. That is suppressing a problem, a negative emotion. That is ignoring it, and it's just going to keep it there and manifest more of it. That's what drives people crazy, understandably. So the true manifestation work is a real shift on the inside, but not pretended. A real shift. When that shifts, again, your subconscious doesn't care. It's going to manifest that wonderful thing that you just assumed to be true, or created the story about. This manifestation work, the true manifestation work that I'm talking about, is what you already know. The thoughts, the imaginal acts, whatever you choose to do. It just needs to be done in a way that is not on the surface and pretended, and I'm even pretending to myself that I'm doing the work, but in reality I'm in my head worrying about this situation. When you actually do it and you change the stories, the way the stories change, it's also going to change the way you feel about the situation. So everything is going to change. So when you do that, you're not ignoring the problem, you're changing the situation. But when you are ignoring the problem, in many cases, this is why you are doing the work on one hand. On the other hand, there's some stuff that you are ignoring sometimes actively ignoring, sometimes you're just not aware, but something is off. And that is what creates this situation where you are doing the work, but nothing is happening in the 3D. So the point of this video is to say, instead of getting more and more angry with the 3D, focusing more and more about on the problem, this is wrong, again, blaming it on either the law that isn't working or people or whatever, go inside and ask yourself, be honest with yourself, have I actually changed? Because the law of assumption requires your assumptions, your thoughts, your mental activity to change before anything can change in the 3D. People get mad at the 3D before they even change. The 3D, again, the 3D doesn't care how mad you are at it. It's going to continuously show you what you keep in mind. Your subconscious mind is also another part of this whole game that is not going to care. So you either shift or you don't. So what do you want the most? Do you actually want your desire? Then you're going to do the work. Doing the work is crucial. You can't. Just knowing that manifestation works, or like feeling that it is so amazing that this stuff works, this stuff exists, is not going to bring you your manifestation. Your story needs to change. So you need to do the work. You can't pretend. This is not about pretending. Pretending creates a lot of heartache because you're lying to yourself. It doesn't work. You're lying to yourself, but you can't lie to your subconscious mind. It knows. It just knows what is going on in your mind. And keep in mind that you being fully focused on the problem is just going to create more of the problem, and your subconscious mind is going to happily manifest more of it if your mind is on it. So you need to shift and take this video as your sign to take this seriously. If you desire to use manifestation and change your situation through manifestation, take it seriously and actually work with yourself. Figure out what is going on in your mind, because you either focus on one thing or on another thing. What are you focusing on most of the time? And sometimes it's subtle. Sometimes it's very subtle. But nevertheless, the subconscious mind is not forgiving. The law is not a respecter of persons. This is Joseph Murphy. And if you need a more personalized help with your manifestations, I do offer one-on-one coaching. You can book your coaching from the link in the description box below. And also check out my full day manifestation routine course. That is a course that shows you how to create a manifestation routine that melts into your daily life so that you can actually get the work done, which is super important. Have a beautiful day and see you in the next video.